go. I think we've got a couple of people joining, but I'll just give a minute or so to see if anybody else joins us before we jump into it.
Amazing. So I can see we've got Gemma from Tourism Top End.
Hey, Gemma.
Hey, Gemma. Let's see if we have.
Hello.
Hello. Max, can you see anybody else jumping on from your end?
No, I don't think so. And we can probably get started, I think, and then obviously share the recording with anyone who might have been a bit late or got caught up or anything like that. So should we get started?
Well, I think maybe if we just wait one more minute, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course. I'm not in a rush.
No, awesome. Just to see if anybody else, any other tour operators jump on.
Mm.
I dare say they may be running late.
That's
10
fair.
a.m. can be a popular time in the NT.
Yeah, fair, of course. I mean, it's the same here as well, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like it might be a private session for Gemma.
Looks like it.
And even though Gemma isn't a tourism operator, Gemma, we're still recording this session so that way we can pass it on to NT tourism businesses. But it's great to have you online as well, just so you know how to support the operators that you're working with as well.
Absolutely.
I think you're right. We might just get started and then let operators filter through as they come in and then pass on the recording to those that need it.
Of course.
So hello everyone, my name's Gabrielle. I'm from Tourism NT. I just want to start by acknowledging the traditional landowners of past, present and emerging. I want to say a massive thank you for people who are joining us today and listening to this later. And a massive thank you to Max from Rezdy, who's going to take us through the session today.
Of course, thank you so much. For sure, yeah. So welcome and thank you for joining the session today on how to expand your distribution, connect to local resellers and start to grow your bookings to the next level. My name's Max Harris-Brassel. I'm the marketing manager for growth here at Rezdy. With international tourists hopefully arriving soon, it's important to get yourself set up now so that you can really capitalize when the bookings start coming in. Rezdy booking software is great for streamlining your processes and growing your direct and online bookings. But when you start exploring Rezdy's channel management opportunities, you'll see the real potential for exponential growth and really take your business to the next level. In the interest of time and keeping us on track, if you've got any thoughts or questions, maybe just make a note and then feel free to contact me via email and I'll send a follow-up message after this so you'll have that with you as well. As a bit of an agenda, first up today, we'll take a look at what we mean by channel management and how that works in the experiences industry. I'm sure you'll probably already know all about this, but it's good to cover off some of the basics so everyone watching is all on the same page as we go on. We'll then go about demystifying the Rezdy Marketplace and showing you how you can make it work for you. and set yourself up so that you can grow bookings without any extra effort. This includes setting up marketplace rates and automated payments, meaning you don't even have to create individual contracts for every reseller. We'll also briefly focus on local resellers specifically and how it's kind of a different mindset in destination, not just for the operators and the resellers themselves, but also for the guests, the actual tourists to your destinations. Every region is its own little ecosystem, and the goal is for us all to work together to ensure an even better experience for someone that visits a region, so that they leave with a positive impression and the region's reputation develops as a must-visit destination. We'll then go into how to get started, showing you what to actually do in the Rezdy platform to start expanding your channel distribution. So, how do we define channel management in the experiences industry? Channel management is a way for tours and experiences to opt to connect with many trade partners and resellers, both local and international, through sharing live inventory and booking information via one easy connection. By giving the supplier more control, and forgive me, I live in under the flight path there, hopefully you can't hear the airplane. By giving the supplier more and better control over who and how they trade, it allows the industry as a whole to do business efficiently, promoting booking growth and optimizing trade relationships through the power of technology. The Rezdy platform allows you to seamlessly distribute real-time rates and inventory across all of a variety of channels and resellers, alleviating those manual processes by channel and digitizing all sales. This means not just connectivity to the major global online travel agencies, but also regional sales channels and in-destination agents. It can be anyone, from hotels and concierges, caravan parks, visitor centers, and even other suppliers like those of us on the line. Anyone that could potentially be calling you or referring you for a booking can be a reseller on Rezdy, which means more bookings for you, streamlined commission and reconciliation for you both, and most importantly, a better guest experience for that actual traveler. Let's start by talking about some of the benefits and the reasons why people use Rezdy for their channel management and distribution. First of all, it helps you to save time and simplify, as it allows you to manage rates and inventory in one place by automatically updating all online channels in real time and avoiding overbooking, as well as digitizing your offline resellers and alleviating those pain points with payment reconciliation across multiple resellers. Secondly, you'll expand your reach and awareness, both domestically and internationally, to the world's largest network of channels and resellers. You'll also reach more customers, both pre-arrival and in destination, depending on how and when you want to best capture your customer's imagination. You'll see improved profits with the reduced cost of admin work through automation, and crucially, you'll get more bookings to complement your direct sales efforts and help fill capacity, including on the slower days of the week or the slower time slots. And finally, it'll enable you to diversify your revenue streams, as it means that you control your distribution and you can choose from hundreds of alternatives. You can find new partners and ultimately protect your business from an over-reliance on direct channels or any single distribution channel, which will help when something unpredictable happens. So let's get into demystifying the marketplace and try to clear up some of the misconceptions that some operators have, so that you can feel confident as you expand your business. We'll talk about the costs involved, which is always a big one, obviously, the different types of resellers and the most common ones you'll probably come across, and then what a considered approach to channel distribution can mean for you and your business. So what's the cost? A common phrase we've heard operators say is that online travel agents are too expensive. And yet, on the surface, 20 to 25% commission may seem significant. However, it's important to look deeper into that. We want to ask ourselves what makes up the cost of commission and how much would it cost you to actually do it yourself if you wanted to achieve the same result. But most operators would already be familiar with this, but just so that we're all on the same page, essentially the way commission to resellers works is that you pay a set percentage of a total booking that a reseller sends your way. So for example, if an online travel agent charges a 25% commission rate and sends you a booking worth $100, the commission that you pay them will be $25 for the booking. It's worth noting as well that there's no risk or commitment involved, as you only pay when you get that booking. So where does the money go? There's a large variety of costs a reseller pays when acquiring customers that contribute to the commission. But more importantly, it puts it in perspective if you were to think about paying those costs yourself to reach the same amount of customers. These costs include payment processing costs, advertising costs, administration or agency costs, and customer service costs. If the reseller does a good job advertising, managing campaigns, and getting your product out there, then the 20 to 25% commission is probably fair. And if you were to run the marketing yourself or through a marketing agency, you could end up spending less, but you could also end up spending more. And remember, spending on marketing campaigns doesn't necessarily guarantee bookings. So if a campaign's not set up right, or it's just not optimized, you could be spending money without actually improving your results. Our recommendation ultimately is to try and do both. You don't want to limit yourself to any single channel. Try running your own marketing campaigns, and as you're building those out, partner with a few agents and resellers. There's no risk involved, as you only pay when they send you a booking, and there's no long-term commitments. At the end of the day, maximizing your visibility across platforms and resellers is an effective way to generate additional bookings and capture new potential customers. Now, no matter what type of tour or activity your business provides, bookings are obviously essential in keeping your business afloat. Direct bookings made through your website are often an operator's preferred method. However, relying on a single stream of bookings does have some downsides. By expanding your business to accept multiple streams of bookings, you'll be able to grow your revenue and ultimately maximize your profits. One way to do this is to utilize different types of resellers to promote and resell your services. So let's talk about 5 common types of resellers on the Rezdy Marketplace and what it means to work with each of them. We'll take a look at large online travel agents, or OTAs, which is often what most people think of when they think of agents and resellers. We'll look at local travel agents, which are smaller, more local, obviously, more specialized agents in your destination. Hotels and accommodation, where in fact a concierge or even just a brochure rack may literally already be reselling your tours. Information centers, where guests are asking for advice on nearby activities. So you want to make sure that you're a part of that, obviously. And finally, other tour operators. Anyone can be a reseller on Rezdy, and plenty of operators will recommend each other already, because cooperating benefits all of us. So, OTAs, the one everyone usually thinks of, and the most popular type of reseller that tour operators partner up with. OTAs are platforms such as Viator, Get Your Guide, Expedia, etc., that often resell multiple forms of travel-related products within one website. So those products can range from accommodation, transportation, airfare, activities, and more. OTAs are a popular choice when it comes to resellers, essentially because they attract thousands of views to their website every day globally, and they're easy to activate. It's for this reason, many operators choose to partner up with large OTAs, as it's the fastest way to start gaining large quantities of bookings. And on top of that, they provide high levels of exposure for your business too. The standard commission rate that OTAs usually charge is generally between 25 to 30%. Second on the list are local travel agents. These are smaller travel agents within your area that offer personalization for customers when booking trips. These could be agents that specialize in booking multi-day tours, flights, private charters, and more. Local travel agents are popular among travelers looking for guidance and advice when building an itinerary during their trip. By working closely with the local travel agents in your area, they're able to promote your tours and activities on a personal level to their customers. The benefit of working with local travel agents is that they provide consistency in incoming bookings. A lot of their customers are repeat customers. Often they'll rebook your services through the same agents. Competition with other operators is also lower compared to those OTAs, as they don't work with as many providers as the OTAs do. Furthermore, the standard commission rate for local travel agents ranges between 15 to 20%, making them relatively affordable to work with. Accommodation. So partnering up with accommodation facilities such as hotels is the perfect way to receive last-minute bookings. Since many travelers don't often plan all of their activities until they've arrived at their destination, featuring your services at hotels is one way to be found. By partnering with local hotels in the area, they'll be able to promote your services to all of their guests. Business pamphlets at reception and in rooms, one-way accommodation providers help promote your business. This encourages their guests to inquire and make a booking via the concierge. QR codes on the premise are also an increasingly popular way to drive bookings and track performance and payment. There are many benefits to working with accommodation providers, the main one being low competition. Because hotels act as a referral to your business, your services are a direct reflections of the hotel's reputation they need to maintain. And it's for that reason that accommodation providers often only work with a handful of trusted and professional tour operators. Additionally, because they have essentially no cost when getting your business bookings, their commission rate is a lot lower compared to other agents. It generally averages between kind of 10 to 15%. Just like accommodation providers, information centers are a great source of capturing those last-minute bookings. Foreign travelers looking for information and recommendations of the area often look for information centers for ideas. By partnering with the information centers, they'll be able to recommend your activities to travelers looking for things to do. And additionally, because they have great authority within the area, their recommendations are seen as trustworthy and reliable. This encourages travelers to follow through with placing a booking. It's also important to note that the majority of travelers that seek recommendations from information centers are often there on like a day trip. And just like accommodation providers, they have low commission rates with a standard between that 10 to 15% range. Other tour operators. So often tour operators don't think of each other as resellers or agents, but they still often send bookings to one another and offer recommendations, of course. Travelers are commonly looking for recommendations from locals, and the credibility of a fellow tour operation can be very influential. Reselling through operators with services that complement yours is a good strategy. For example, if your business provides traditional local art classes, partnering with operators that provide local city tours may be a smart move. By having that sort of strategy in place, not only do you gain consistent bookings, but you also provide the tour company with activities that they can add to their itinerary. It's a win-win for both parties. The standard commission rate other tour operators charge each other, the average I should say is between that 10 to 15% range again. However, obviously that partnership is usually a lot more flexible and you can negotiate specific rates for specific operators. So this one's a bit fun. To give a real world example, Grazing Gaze is a Rezdy customer, which was actually started by one of our own staff. So Will Andrew used to be the business operations manager at Rezdy, started a little side business essentially to kind of test out the product, but then found that the side business had begun to grow so rapidly that he quit Rezdy to pursue his dream full time, which is awesome. Obviously, we love that. We checked in with him recently to ask about that impressive growth and how channel management across various resellers had worked for his business. Firstly, he did suggest that tour operators should not be too reliant on any single reseller. Instead, focus on building a diverse distribution channel consisting of multiple types of resellers in addition to your direct bookings. This will allow you to capitalize on all the benefits of working with resellers, but without too much risk. He talked about how through working with Get Your Guide and Klook, Grazing Gaze was included on photo and video shoots with Tourism Australia, and then later featured on newspapers and TV channels, offering awesome exposure he might not have had otherwise. He also saw benefit from Red Balloon, who invests heavily in marketing for them, mentioning how he's always seeing their ads when he's Googling his own products. He acknowledged that the commission may be a little high, of course, but it's better to have less margin than no bookings at all, in his opinion, especially if you had spots that you needed to fill, like if you had a bus with a certain amount of seats, for example. And what's more, his point was you can control it. You can turn the agents on or off and edit your availabilities. So you can leave popular times reserved for direct bookings. You could also try working with resellers. And if it turns out not to work for you, then you can switch it off. That's the goal of channel management. When used correctly, resellers are a great risk-free way to quickly and efficiently grow your business. The key is to build a diverse sales channel by partnering with multiple different resellers in addition to your direct booking channels. That'll ensure you don't lose out on any of your direct bookings while maximizing your exposure and your bookings through other channels. Now, one final thing before we get into how to actually get started with channel management. This year, Rezdy has been focused on in-destination bookings specifically, and how within specific regions, we see incredible cooperation and reselling between operators and accommodation like hotels, caravan parks, etc. There was 2 points that have really stood out to us. Firstly, we saw that there's around $8 million a month that's booked manually in destination as resellers are calling or emailing operators, or indeed other operators are referring each other. That number I pulled at the end of last year, to be honest, so I assume it's only gotten higher since then. But secondly, we had one customer actually tell us that they got something like 10 bookings a day from local accommodation providers and caravan parks, and basically how much of a hassle it is to keep track on paper and spreadsheets, reconciling at the end of the month and paying each one commission. So we thought, how can we make it easier for guests to book experiences at those venues? We've created QR codes for resellers like the Rumba Resort pictured here, which then leads to a bookable site with a variety of local products that guests can book easily from their own devices. The commission is automatically calculated and the correct money allocated to the reseller and the operator alike, without them needing to lift a finger. This saves time and improves the guest experience, as you and the reseller don't have to call each other back and forth while the guest is standing there waiting, essentially, and it makes reconciliation and payments easier at the end of the month as well. The reseller can display the QR code in public spaces, in guest rooms. They can link directly from their emails and the customer communications, or display the link on their website and social media. They can even display the QR code to anyone, basically no matter where they are, by pulling it up on their device and letting someone scan it there and then, which is much easier than making a phone call when you're out and about. So while we're still in the pilot phase of this program, if you did want to be featured on any of these pages, all you need to do is set up marketplace rates for your products, which are the rates that are chosen by you to say, basically anyone can book me at this commission rate on the Rezdy Marketplace, which saves having to set up those individual negotiated contracts, of course. So getting started with channel management is probably the easy part after all of that. You simply head to the marketplace on the Rezdy app sidebar there, click Find Agents, search for the ones that you would like to connect with, click on it, and follow the instructions. It's basically that easy, although some of the larger OTAs may require you to register with them or reach out to them directly as well. And they may also have their own criteria for acceptance. But for smaller agents, you simply click Add Agent, customize your negotiated rates for your products, and share them directly with the agent and go from there. Then to really ramp up your channel options, if you go to Marketplace on the sidebar and hit settings, you can accept a Marketplace agreement and publish your company profile to the Marketplace. This means that other agents can find you there as well and reach out to offer to resell your tours. You can also set your Marketplace rates, which, as I mentioned before, are the commission rates, which you just declare that any reseller on Rezdy can make a booking. You don't need to set Marketplace rates. You can send individual negotiated rates that you agree with specific resellers as well. But it's a good idea to think about what you're comfortable with, as this can lead to exponential growth. Then with Marketplace rates and automated payment setup, you don't even have to lift a finger for more resellers to start getting you more and more bookings. Then you can search the Marketplace for more agents to connect with. We have guides in the Rezdy help and training section on connecting to the major OTAs like Get Your Guide and Viator. But you can also check out more local and specialized resellers in your destination by refining your search terms there. And finally, diversify. The idea of channel management is having a balanced stream of income across a variety of channels, meaning your bottom line is safer and you get a healthy amount of bookings. You can make changes at any time, and there's no commitment that you need to lock into either. And that brings us to the end. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate the opportunity to get to talk about channel management. And of course, I look forward to seeing the Northern Territory really ramping up its bookings and getting more tourists this year. I think we're all expecting it to be a big one after the last couple. So yeah, hopefully it's bigger and better than ever. If you had any specific questions, feel free to reach out to myself or Gabrielle directly afterwards via email. I'll send around a link to the recording as well. And of course, you can share that with your teams or anyone else that you think would be interested. Basically, anyone with the link can watch the recording. And that is all. Thank you so much for joining. Gabrielle, thank you as well for setting this up. I really appreciate the opportunity, like I said. And yeah.
Thanks, Max, and thanks for everyone joining online. And yeah, some really good takeaways from there as well. I really like the idea of operators working with other operators. So
Yeah.
That's a great little plug there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Max. Thanks everyone online.
Thank you, everybody.
Cheers, guys. Have a great day.
Bye.